Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in today. My name is Susanna Pollack and I'm president of Games for Change. We are pleased to welcome you to what I think is our first Google Hangout of the year. It is our Industry Circle Google Hangout today with Juco, a new company created by Global Gaming Initiative. We'll be hearing today from Elizabeth Sarquis, founder and CEO of Global Gaming Initiative and Juco, and also Alejandro Fenn, product manager and lead developer of Juco. At about 2:20, we'll start an audience Q&A. At that point, you could submit questions via the Google Hangout Q&A button on the left of your screen, or on Twitter using hashtag G4C Industry. We also included a few links in the Showcase app through Google Hangout, which you can open by clicking the yellow tag icon. So I'd like to tell you a little bit about the Games for Change Industry Circle, in case you haven't joined us before. It's a program we created that aims to acknowledge the achievements and challenges in the growing social impact games sector. We're recognizing some of the companies and entrepreneurs that have emerged as industry leaders, and believe that by identifying and sharing best practices and lessons learned, we can inspire and invite others to forge new paths in the sector. The 2015 into 16 Industry Circle members include Cognito, Amplify, BrainPop, Global Gaming Initiative, Glass Lab Filaments, and Shell Games. So as one of the founding members of the Games for Change Industry Circle, Global Gaming Initiative is a game developer and a publisher focused on bringing games that address real-world issues to the casual gaming space. Using revenue from the games, Global Gaming Initiative provides tangible goods to developing world communities such as malaria treatments, bicycles, and soccer balls. The team recently developed Juco to address the challenges of monetization. Juco is a monetization solution for game developers who want to make a positive impact, and also a mobile discovery platform for socially conscious brands. Today we're going to learn more about the Juco platform and how it works from Elizabeth and Alejandro, and how developers can use the platform to drive charitable giving and also engage with cause-minded brands. I'm going to pass this off now to Alejandro and to Elizabeth, who are going to talk more about the platform. Welcome.
Thank you, Susanna, for that kind introduction. We're really honored to be here today, and we're really proud of the work that Games for Change does to increase awareness and help companies like ours really bring our products to market. So thank you for that kind introduction. At Global Gaming Initiative, we make games that contribute to social causes. In Sidekick Cycle, we made a game that brought awareness to people about the need for transportation, which meant bicycles for kids, so they could get access to education all over the world. In Outbreak Responder, our game was focused on teaching people about sitting water, pools of water, and the manifestation of the proliferation of mosquitoes and the transmission of a deadly disease, malaria. In the current situation that we find ourselves, we now see the Zika virus, which is also one of those illnesses that are transmitted through sitting, pools of water that increased proliferation of mosquitoes. So the game is really fun, and in addition, it brings awareness to these very important causes, and we donate money to malaria projects all over the world. In Winning Kick, we made a game about soccer balls, and that game is to teach people how important it is for kids to have soccer balls. One of the things that is taught by playing a sport like soccer is leadership and community involvement. So these games are all focused on harnessing the power of what can happen when people just play games that they love to play and make an impact in the world. Now, as independent game developers, we found that it's very difficult oftentimes to monetize. And one of the challenges that game developers have is how they do that in a space that is a free-to-play space. So we went really and listened to a lot of game developers all over the world, and they told us the problems that they were having. And as a result of that, we spent the last 8 months developing our new platform, which is called Juco. And today, I am really honored to introduce that platform to you. As we want to help developers monetize, but we also want to help the world. So Juco is a mobile marketing and monetization platform for social impact. Now, the word Juco has a Finnish origin, and it means giving power to the masses. So when developers integrate our SDK into their games and apps, not only will they have a monetization solution, but they will also be a part of a social impact solution. The best way to really see and experience what Juco is to hold it in your hand and realize that by doing what you love to do every day, you can make the world better. And the best way to do that is I'm going to now have Alejandro walk you through a demo of what Juco looks and feels like.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Thanks, Games for Change. This is awesome. Before I hop into the demo, just wanted to say, the big thing that we learned at Global Gaming Initiative and that we've been really focusing on here with Juco is providing an effective monetization solution, but in the case of Juco, a monetization solution that adds a new layer, converting any app, in this case, all these awesome games associated with Games for Change, into a further catalyst for positive social impact. So I'm going to screen share really quick demo, and then I'll go over some other cool stuff. So here we have Juco in the context of a very, very simple tic-tac-toe game. Starting the game, so I'm just going to play against myself. And so for Juco, the ads are triggered during natural breakpoints in the game or app experience. So it can be during pause screens, during after level screens, mainly any place like that where it's a natural breakpoint, and we give developers all the customization abilities to determine when and with what frequency Juco ads are triggered so that it works best for them. Okay, so back to the demo. I'm going to beat myself here with 3 X's, and you'll see a Juco ad appear. So here we have an example of a socially conscious brand, Soma Water. And so a few key parts here to note. First off, we're always focused on having really cool design of the ads and really interesting, relevant copy to users. The biggest thing that we've heard from consumers is that they want to be a part of buying from socially conscious brands, but the biggest impediment to that is awareness of what are the brands that are doing good for the world. And that's what we want to provide through Juco. So then secondly, important to note is this bottom area where you see 777. That's basically the amount of Juco coins you earn for every time you engage with an ad. So every time I'm a user, I'm playing this tic-tac-toe game, I see a few brands that seem really cool to me, I click on see how, go to their website, check out some details, whatnot. Then I earn Juco coins, which has real value, which I then give to specific impact projects, which I'll show you now. So I'm just going to click on see how, so you see how there's a little interaction effect in the bottom left corner. So this would take you to the website, but for brevity here, it's just showing the interaction. So now on to the fun part. I'm going to visit the Juco store, which has the different impact projects available, the ones that I've unlocked given my number of coins. So as you can see, there's 3 available options in the store. The first off being feed a child for a day, the second off being give a scholarship for a kid for a week, and the third being build a business, giving a local business an egg-laying hen for the local community. So let's do give a scholarship. So here's sort of the impact item screen. So you're coming from the store, you click on a specific item, you get to read more, and you kind of know how many coins were needed to give that item. And then I'm going to click the Juco button, and then it's going to go through, and it's going to add another tally saying you've given another weekly scholarship to a kid, to these students in this specific community through this specific nonprofit partner, in this case, Goods for Good. So really cool stuff how in our API that weekly scholarships number that you see right there at 142 will be constantly increasing as users across the platform, across any app, continue to give items. So that's a brief demo. I'm going to switch back to myself here. So thanks for bearing with me on that. Other few key things that I wanted to note. As you saw, for users, what we're really trying to provide is twofold. First off, discovering really cool, awesome, socially conscious brands that more and more so people are interested in buying from. And secondly, being able to contribute to positive social impact in the context of your app or game experience. And for all of us like working on Games for Good, obviously all our games are already doing some sort of social impact, but you could think of Juco as a complement to that strategy, while also certainly being an effective monetization solution that's going to be better than industry standard in terms of eCPMs, and also one that like maintains a user experience. That being obviously a major challenge. How can we monetize with ads in a way that's not frustrating our users in any way? So lastly, before we kind of move on to Q&A, just wanted to note that as former employees of Global Gaming Initiative and like previously working in the game space, we've really honed in on making sure that like everything that works for our platform, from our dashboard where all our developers can see sort of all the metrics relevant to their game or app, the payouts, sort of the engagement rates, all that fun stuff, along with the integration process, is super sleek, super fast, because we know it's got to be quick and easy to integrate, and so we're really excited for all you guys that are interested in trying out Juco and working with us on any front, whether it be beta testing, debugging, giving us general feedback. We're obviously super appreciative, so very excited. So for now, let's see if there's any Q&A questions. I think I have two more points that I wanted to highlight before kind of opening it up more to Q&A. The first is the customization abilities of Juco. So basically how it works is we want to make sure that you can use Juco in your game in a way that's best for your specific user experience. So the main way that can be done with Juco is time interval restrictions. So you can set it after authenticating the SDK. Basically, I only want to show an ad during natural breakpoints to my users after 5 minutes of not having the ad, things like that. So that's, we think, really important and a great way to really tailor this advertising platform to the specificity of your game. Let's see. I'm seeing a question here. A few questions roll in. Yeah. You guys want to talk about the Q&A? Perfect. Thanks, guys.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much, Alejandro and Elizabeth. That was great. Really interesting stuff, and I think really useful for our audience, especially the developers who are tuned in. So my name is Sarah Cornish. I am at Games for Change, Project Director. Just to give a quick reminder about the Q&A and how this works. If you are currently tuned in, you can open up the Q&A app. On the left-hand side of your screen, there's a little icon, a little speech bubble icon. If you click on that, it will allow you to enter in questions, which we see come in, and can choose which ones to answer. We will do our best to get to all of the questions. We will be starting the Q&A in a minute, and we'll have about 10 minutes or so to answer your questions. You can also submit questions via Twitter, and make sure you use hashtag G4C Industry. And we're monitoring Twitter to enter those questions in as well. So thank you so much, and I'm going to put Elizabeth back on the spot and give our first question. Brandon Warner asks, how do you choose the charities, and how do you plan to sort of scale up the number of charities that you work with?
Absolutely, thank you. That's one of my favorite questions, because having worked in the nonprofit space for over 25 years, I know what works and what doesn't work, and consumers really want to know what happens to their money. So when we select a nonprofit, we're very fiscally responsible as to how much of that money directly goes to the charity or the social impact project. We've researched them on every level, including obviously the normal tools of Charity Navigator and things of that nature, but we go a step further. And we go a step further in that we want things to be tangibly measured. So when we speak about donations, we speak about being able to measure actual items. And I think that that's really beneficial because we'll actually be able to see, and on our transparency side of our platform, you'll really be able to count the number of things that are happening. And of course, we're going to scale up in charities, and we're in conversations with some of the biggest, coolest nonprofits in this country. And that doesn't limit it to the U.S., but it will start with U.S.-based charities for sure.
Great, thank you so much. Alejandro, you're next. The next question is from Marco Rosa, and he asks, what is the cost of the Juco platform to game developers? So could you talk a little bit about the kind of tiers of participation and how developers can actually use these services?
For sure, yeah. Thanks for the question, Marco. For developers, there's no cost. Basically how it works is like we want as many cool game developers to use Juco as their monetization solution. So we give you the SDK, we give you the integration instructions, which are super easy, and then you can test it out for however long you want, and hopefully you'll see good results, and you'll be able to see how it's affecting your user experience in comparison to the monetization return. So it's really just up to getting cool developers like all you guys here in the audience to try out Juco, see how it's working, and then from there you can continue to monetize with Juco if you're happy about it. And then I see the next question. I can hop into it from Michael. How's it going, Michael? Yeah, so right now we've got iOS and Unity, and then later on we'll be integrating Android as well, but we're starting with iOS and Unity in terms of
I think we're experiencing a little bit of delay from Alejandro's machine, so he's gonna log in again from a different account. So bear with us. Thank you, everyone. I'm sure he'll be back shortly.
I came back. Sorry, guys.
You're back. Okay, great.
Yeah, so I think you got that, Michael.
Yeah, the question from Michael Lynch, and the question. All right. Well, yeah. Go ahead, Alejandro. Keep going. What platforms does Juco work for now?
Yep, as I said, iOS and Unity right now, and then Android soon. So obviously we want to make this available to any developer so that we can maximize the impact and get as many users experiencing this new form of giving back through apps. So yeah.
Great. And Margot asks a follow-up question. Could you explain how your business model works?
Elizabeth, do you want to take that one, or I can either way?
Yes, absolutely. So our business model works as every other mobile advertising platform out there is. So basically, people advertise on the platform, game developers get a distribution of the money made on the platform, and then Juco, as an organization, contributes to the social impact projects.
Okay, great.
Pretty standard, and I think I see a question from Jolene Fisher. Would you like me to answer that one, Megan?
Go for it. Yeah, this is via Twitter, so thank you, Jolene, for tuning in.
Thank you, Jolene. And how we define socially conscious brands for ads, we go back to the origin of our company at Global Gaming Initiative, and we're a benefit corporation. at Global Gaming Initiative, and we're pending certification Juco to be also a benefit corporation. So when you think of what the mission of benefit corporations are, they're brands and companies that are doing good business and doing good for the world. We tend to look at companies that do that first and foremost, so you will see ads from those types of companies on our platform.
Okay, terrific. So to all of our viewers out there, last chance for questions. Those were some great ones. Thank you so much for participation.
I just wanted to note one final thing, that if, along with going on to juco.com/developers, sending your info there, if you want to get in touch to work on any of the stuff like beta testing, debugging, we would really obviously appreciate it. We need more smart developer minds as we go through this. And then if you want to do that, please send an email to developers@juco.com, and the CTO and I will get cranking on reaching out today.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Elizabeth and Alejandro. That was fantastic, really helpful. Juco will be at the 13th Annual Games for Change Festival, which is happening in New York City on June 23rd and 24th. And so we encourage you to get your tickets. Tickets will go on sale in March for that event, and you can meet Alejandro and Elizabeth in person and learn about and demo Juco yourself. We also have another Games for Change event coming up in April, the Games and Media Summit, which is going to be part of Tribeca Film Festival. It's happening on April 18th, and tickets are currently on sale. So lots of exciting upcoming events and programs with Games for Change, and further opportunities to connect with the Juco team. So thank you again so much for tuning in today, and we will be posting this recording on the Games for Change YouTube channel later this week. So if you missed anything in the beginning, you can see the whole recording later on. Thank you, and have a good day.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye, guys.